We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And this afternoon on Man Talk Live, I have a question for you. Are you a man who wants to start creating content for your men's ministry or podcast show or live stream or some other form of online video that you want to do, but you lack the confidence to press record and to start doing online videos, or you lack the confidence to go live, go on a live stream, not sure if you're going to have an audience or not? Well, this afternoon, I want to share with you 5 tips that's going to help you to overcome camera shyness and have confidence to be able to do your live stream or podcast. And we're starting right now. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to Man Talk Live. I'm your host, Walter Strong, where we share helpful tips to inspire men like yourself to raise the standard of manhood so you can be a great husband, a devoted father, and a man of integrity. And so if you're new here this afternoon, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live in the chat. And if you're watching the replay of this episode of Man Talk Live, give me a hashtag Team Replay in the comment section. And so this afternoon, having a special Man Talk Live at 2 p.m. This morning, I had a homegoing celebration that I had to attend for a dear friend, father figure, and assistant pastor, the man who was truly a great husband, a man who was truly a devoted father, and a man who loved God and loved his people. I had to attend the funeral services of Pastor Eddie Bernard Corbett, there was a truly, truly great homegoing service. And so I knew I wanted to have a Man Talk Live. So we scheduled it at 2 p.m. Normally we're live at 11 a.m., but today we're live at 2 p.m. And so today we're going to talk about encouraging you. Maybe you are a man who wants to be able to start a men's ministry where you want to do a live stream show to encourage your men in your church. You want to start some type of podcast for your men's ministry, or have a one-on-one interview session, or you just want to be able to create content, but yet you lack confidence to be able to get on camera to press record. You lack confidence to go live and doing a live stream because you're not sure if there's going to be an audience there to greet you. And so you're lacking the confidence. You're dealing with camera shyness. Maybe you're introverted, whereas you're just not comfortable in being in front of a camera and doing online video. And for a lot of us, we have all experienced and been there. But how do you get from the idea of wanting to start a live stream show? How do you get from the idea of wanting to start a podcast to actually doing? How do you get the confidence? How do you get the experience? Well, that's what we're going to talk today about, to encourage you in your endeavors in encouraging men in men's ministry or men in your church. And so do me a favor, grab a pen, grab a pad. It's time to go to work as we get into this content on overcoming camera shyness and getting in front of the camera. And so my first tip is an important tip when you're first starting out doing content creation, to be able to encourage men. You want to have a checklist, an online checklist to get yourself ready before you press record, before you go live doing a live stream or going and recording your podcast. You want to have a checklist. The checklist is going to consist of, the type of camera that you're going to have to make sure, whether if it's a webcam like an Elgato Face webcam, or a C922 Logitech, or DLSR mirrorless camera, okay, or your iPhone. Simply just starting with your iPhone 16 or your latest smartphone. You want to be able to Make sure that you got your camera set up properly so that you're focused um in in the box, so that your head's not too high and you're not sitting too low, so that you can be comfortable when you get ready to press record, when you get ready to go live. You're going to have the confidence to be able to share your content with the audience that you're intending to reach. Not only do you want to have a checklist that covers your camera, but you want to make sure, if you're bringing on guests, that they come on and they have their audio, their lighting fixed, just like you have your lighting set up, so that you're making sure that everything is in its proper place, so that way you can put yourself in the best position to having a great show, whether if it's a live stream show, podcast, or a pre-recorded show. Because from time to time, there are going to be what I call online nightmares. Online nightmares, or live stream nightmares, or pre-recorded nightmares. If you remember the movie Nightmare on Elm Street, you got your lighting all set up, and the dog gets loose and comes into the room, and he knocks over your lighting, or he knocks over a table, or he gets tangled into the wires. I call it the online nightmares. It's going to happen from time to time. But if you have a checklist that's going to put yourself in the best position, you can minimize that. You can let family members know, hey, I'm getting ready to go live at such and such time. So this room is going to be kind of like set aside for me to be able to do what I need to do without having any background or anyone talking in the background where the audience can hear it. So a checklist is very, very important if you want to overcome camera shyness. It's helping you to properly prepare yourself in doing something new that maybe you doing for the first time. Maybe you don't have the background experience in working in Hollywood or doing um, cinematic films or videos, but you have a desire to want to start doing pre-recorded videos or podcasts or live streams. So you want to have that checklist. You want to make sure that your sound is coming out properly through your speakers of your computer, because sometimes with live stream software like StreamYard and updates on your computer, it can shift and move certain things where the audio, which we're going to get into the importance of good audio later on in this discussion, your audio can shift from different points where, instead of it being set in its normal setting, you get ready to go live and all of a sudden your audience is not able to hear you, or your mic is not as clear as it was before. So having a checklist, whether if it's yourself or you have a guest that you're bringing on, to put yourself in the best position so you can overcome camera shyness. Which brings me to tip number 2. How do you overcome camera shyness and be able to have confidence on camera, and be able to put yourself in the best position? Practicing making eye contact with the camera. Now, whether if you're using a webcam like I am, the Elgato face cam, or you're using a DSLR or mirrorless camera, or like I said, your iPhone 16 or 13 phone. Okay. You want to be able to make eye contact with the camera, that you're speaking to the audience that is live, or the audience that's going to watch the replay. You want to speak to them as they're sitting across the table from you, or they're in the room with you, and you are having an intimate setting of a conversation that you want to share some great information with them. By practicing and making eye contact, that's going to help you to be able to build confidence on camera, especially as you begin to become repetitive and begin to do it more and more. The more you begin to go live, the more you begin to do pre-records or do podcasting, the more you do this, making eye contact with the camera is going to help you to overcome camera shyness and to have confidence on camera. The more you do something, the more you put in the work and you practice at it, You're going to get more comfortable with it and become more better at it. And your audience is going to be able to connect with you. Are there going to be times though that where you don't look into the camera as often as you should, maybe because you have notes to the side of another monitor like and you kind of focus on your notes? Yeah, that's part of the experience, the live experience or the pre-recorded experience. That's part of the experience. But over and all, you want to be able to make eye contact with the audience. You don't want to fall into the trap to see how many viewers are watching you live and how many viewers are not watching you live. There are some times where you may have an episode where you may only have one. But I would encourage you that your greatest viewership is going to come from the replay audience. It's going to come from the replay audience. And so I adopt the mindset that rather if I'm speaking to one or if I'm speaking to a room of 100 people in the room, I'm speaking an important and sharing some important content that they all need to hear. And the more you do that, the more confidence you get. I want you to think about a basketball player who wants to get better shooting his free throws, and a basketball player who wants to be able to shoot a free throw percentage of from 85 to 92%. They start practicing not live in the game, but they practice live when no one's in the gymnasium but them and the coach and coach's assistants, maybe some players. But then there are other times where they may be in the gym by themselves and they're practicing their free throw shooting. So that way, when the big game comes and as crunch time approaches and free throws need to be hit and they're put on the line because of the work they put in when no one was watching them, but they were working on their free throws, even if they're not at home but away, and the audience is booing them, trying to distract them because of the work that they put in, the free throws go in without a problem. Or they're working on their mid-range game or a three-point shot like Steph Curry. All those shots that you see NBA players like him and Damian Lillard make, it all starts when the audience is not there. And so if this is new to you, doing a pre-recorded video, doing a podcast show or a live stream, hey, don't get discouraged because there's no audience right now. It's because you are in practice. You're in practice. You're in practice right now. This is your time to hone your skills, getting comfortable in front of the camera. This is your time to get comfortable and being on the mic, which brings me to tip number 3, good audio. Being able to learn how to have quality or good audio when you do your pre-recorded show, when you go live, and the more you get comfortable with the right type of microphone, do you have to go and buy the latest equipment so that you can be able to do your podcast show for your ministry? Do you got to spend thousands of dollars to be able to get, the latest hot microphone and mixing board? No, start with what you have. Start with what you have. And if what you have right now is, say, Zoom, and Zoom gives you the ability to go live and bring guests on without you breaking the bank, and they have quality audio because the audience wants to hear what you say more than anything. As long as you have some decent lighting, as long as you have a respectable camera and you have a quality mic, hey, you can make it starting out doing whatever it is that you want to do online. And as you practice, as you get better at this, as you do more repetition at this, you're going to get more confidence being on camera to overcome camera shyness. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this episode of Man Talk Live, You say, Man Talk Live normally talks about manhood issues and manhood realities. Guess what? In today's time, this is a manhood reality for a lot of men who want to do live stream shows and who want to do podcasts or do pre-recorded videos. And so if you're getting great value out of it, click that like button for me, hit that thumbs up, share this on your favorite social media platform this afternoon. Which brings me now to tip number 4. Prepare yourself a run-of show. A run-of show can simply be defined like a script that you kind of script out so you can have something to follow as you do your pre-recorded video or as you do your podcast or live stream show, or doing some bullet points as you see that I have on the screen. Kind of helps me as a content creator to kind of follow my points so that way the show has a flow and a smooth transition that gives you, the viewer, the audience, who are either live or on the replay, a quality viewer experience. And so having that run a show, knowing when to hit the first 2 points, when to then greet and engage with the audience and encourage the audience to a call to action, like clicking the thumbs up or hitting the subscribe button, because they really value the information that you're sharing. And so encouraging my audience to hit the subscribe button and click the alert notification button so that they are alerted when they go to find out when I'm live. That's all part of the run of show. So that way, by the time you go live, to you hit your bullet points, to the time you engage with your audience, you make your final point, till you end the broadcast. Having a run of show is going to help you to have confidence on camera. Because when you don't have what I call a live stream GPS and you're traveling somewhere and you get lost, sometimes it can get frustrating for you, especially when you're first starting out and doing something like this. It can get a little frustrating. It can get intimidating. It can get a little nervous. It can cause you to be a little nervous. And then you start to kind of doubt yourself. And if you're wondering, is this something you really should be doing, but you really feel passionate about it because you just can't get certain things right or nail it? I want to encourage you. Use some form of bullet point. Use some type of live stream GPS or run a show. And then lastly, I want to share with you, give yourself some grace, especially if this is something that you're starting out and you haven't did your first 100 episodes. You haven't did this in a year's time, and you're just starting out. You haven't got to your first 90 days. You haven't did your first 25 episodes, and you've had some bumps and bruises where the audio wasn't as good as it should be, where the camera angle, where you're looking into the camera, trying to find, let me take my glasses off. So I can see you and make sure my camera is good. Okay. So now I got my camera set. I see my blue light, but there are times I get down on myself because I'm not looking into the camera as much as I should. And I've had to learn to give myself some grace. Have you been there as a seasoned content creator who's creating content for your YouTube channel or for your podcast show? Have you had those live stream nightmares or online video nightmares? We've all gone through it. We have a live stream show and all of a sudden the stream goes completely down because you forgot to check to see that your power cord was plugged into the laptop and you didn't realize that laptop was running on battery, and all of a sudden the stream just goes completely down and the viewers are like, where did he go? Where did she go? And with something good like StreamYard, where they kind of keep the stream up in the cloud until you can get back on, that's a game changer. This is not sponsored, not sponsoring, live stream, StreamYard is not sponsoring me to say that, but just having one of those features, it's a game changer. But live stream nightmares, online video recording nightmares do happen. And so I want you to give yourself some grace as you are endeavoring to do online video to encourage men and encourage men in your men's ministry by recording videos that mistakes are going to happen. But don't lose focus on the bigger picture of why you're doing this. And why you're doing it is because you want to be able to have a message that men can listen to, men can watch and take notes from, not only just for today, but a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they'll come across your video. It's interesting, just this week, I have been kind of watching some videos on how to start a men's ministry. And it's interesting that quite a few of the videos that I were watching, these videos were recorded 10 years ago. They were recorded 10 years ago. But the content and the message was so good, it was still relevant for today. And where there are some mistakes, where the person didn't look into the camera the way they should, and maybe they were looking over here, or they messed up. They said too many times. Yeah, they did. But they gave themselves some grace. And so I'm sharing this to encourage you. Don't lose focus on the big picture. The big picture is the content, the message. You want to encourage men about how to be better husbands in their marriage. The big picture is encouraging men how to be better fathers to their sons, to their daughters. The bigger picture is to encourage them to be able to get themselves checked out and going to the doctor, so that way they don't have these silent battles with their health that they're not dealing with. And as a result, our men, unfortunately, are dying too soon. And you have a message to encourage them. Don't lose the big picture because you're having a couple of bumps in the road. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this episode of Man Talk Live, do me a favor, click that like button today. Share this on your favorite social media platform. And if you are new to Man Talk Live, if you're new to the Real Men Rising YouTube channel, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click the alert notification button, and be a part of the conversation of real men that are making a difference by raising the standard of manhood, not only in their life today, but the generations to come. And so that's the content. Very quick, short episode, but all important, powerful tips for you who's starting out, who wants to start doing online video, who wants to start doing live streaming. You want to start a podcast. If you're just starting out doing a podcast and at some point you want to get in front of the camera, this episode is specifically to help you, especially if you're an introvert. You'll be amazed on how many content creators, so many well-known, established content creators who have large channels with a lot of views and subscribers are introverts. They struggle with this very topic. Individuals like Nick Nimmin, if you're familiar with who he is, who has over 800,000 subscribers and over 1 million views. But he'll tell you, when he first started out, he didn't have confidence to be on camera. He dealt with camera shyness. Individuals like my good friend Ash Borland from, his mortgage brokerage YouTube channel and mortgage business. He struggled with camera shyness. And now he has a respectable, quality YouTube channel that's helping mortgage brokers to be able to be successful in the mortgage broker industry. And I can go on and name more, but that's just a few. Those of you who are watching me live, if I'm talking about you, let me know in the chat this afternoon. Let me know in the chat. Give me a hashtag Me too. Hashtag me too. Me too. The number 2. You dealt with camera shyness. We've all been there. Some of us are still dealing with it. Give you a great power tip. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. You want to be able to get more confidence being on camera so you can be able to share your content with your men. Get your phone. Get your phone. And instead of sending a text message back to the person who sends you the text message, go into the video and just take 30 seconds and record a response back to the individual who sent you the text message. Look into the camera, get yourself in front of the camera like this. Make sure that you can see yourself, and just begin to start talking and say, hey, this is Walter. Just want to let you know I got your message. I will get back to you shortly on a response regarding your question. Talk to you soon. Boom. Send it. If you practice that 3 times a day and responding to text messages, looking into the lens of the camera, over time, you're going to get more comfortable being in front of the camera of a video. You're going to get more comfortable. Rather if you do it by phone, rather if you do it through a DSLR or a mirrorless camera or a webcam, you practice that over time, repetitionally, through repetition, you're going to get more comfortable. You're going to have more confidence, and you won't have camera shyness. I'm telling you, it works. It works. So that's the content. And so we wanted to do this episode a little different, but still keeping it relevant to the theme of the channel, where we encourage men about real manhood issues, about real talk and real solutions. And in today's time, where are men? You will find men talking about manhood issues or real life issues, trying to provide real solutions through video. And so you may be one who wants to be a part of the conversation through online video. And I wanted to make this to encourage you. And so that's the content. We're going to go ahead and bring this train into the station. And so if you've gotten great value out of this, as I said, click that like button for me. Share this on your favorite social media platform and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of Man Talk Live. We'll be back our regular time at 11 a.m. For another edition of Man Talk Live. God bless.